Hello and welcome to a championship edition of the Coaches Show on SportsNetUSA.net. We're going to go right out to Rancho Cucamonga before the national championship game and talk to the American River head coach.
100 years ago, Fullerton College started playing football. They didn't play for 100 years. They missed basically 6 seasons along the way. So this is 94 years of football. And when you think about it, they started off, there wasn't really anybody to play. They played Santa Ana College. They played a couple high schools they didn't do well against. And they really didn't have a winning record or win conference till Spalding came along and won the conference for Fullerton. Then after Spalding, well, they went backwards again. And then a man called Hal Scherbeck showed up on the scene. Hal basically, Ryan, you've already brought it up, Hal Scherbeck was told, hey, don't stick around. If you can't beat Santa Ana, you can't win. They told Hal to hit the road.
Yeah, and he lost to Santa Ana in his first season. Like you said, they said don't get comfortable until you can beat Santa Ana. He did in his next season. 1965 brings home the national championship for Fullerton, gets another one in 1967, and that 65 team was honored with the 50th anniversary last year.
And when you think about the championships he won, also he lost a couple along the way. He lost in 70 and he lost in 88. And then Hal moved on, and then Corey, a man that we knew well, follows Hal Scherbeck. And you look at him, maybe not a winning record, but a personality, and he sent people on to the next level.
Well, the thing about Gene Murphy is that might have been the most fun time for Fullerton College football in its entire history. And how Gene Murphy just took over the legend that was Hal Scherbeck, but he did well. He produced guys like Brian Crooks, like Tim Burns. He produced football players that really respected him, respected the program, and just did a great job of continuing that tradition.
And of course, then you think about it that after Gene left, well, he hadn't really left, that Tim Burns shows up. And I'm going to go back to Corey on this one because Tim Burns was the associate head coach, but I think Tim Burns is a little Gene Murphy and a little Hal Scherbeck, roll them together.
A combination of both, because when you really look at it, Gene Murphy was there. He was Tim's coach at Cal State Fullerton. Tim was an all-conference running back at Cal State Fullerton. He's one of those guys who just stayed with him. So when Gene Murphy was kind of retiring, on his way out, handing over responsibility to other coaches, Tim Burns took the mantle. And he's really elevated this program to really one of the best in the country. And so Gene Murphy to Tim Burns, and Tim has just done an outstanding job, as we say, and he couldn't do anything without that legacy and without the good group he has around him.
And you think about in 2013, he goes up and he plays for the state national championship, which we broadcasted here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland, myself, and my son Philip went up there. And then Ryan, you show up. You really have been brought into the Tim Burns regime. That's who you know. You look at him. What do you think about this coach and where he's taken the program?
Well, he really brings a culture of winning because right after Fullerton College goes to the 2013 national championship, they lose a lot of sophomores. What happens the very next year? He takes them back to the playoffs with Joey Verheig at the helm. Right afterwards, Trey Tinsley, they started off the season well. They beat the #1 team in the nation in Riverside City College, and all of a sudden, 2016, you're looking at a possible national championship once again.
So let's look at 2016, guys. I mean, this was a year that started with no quarterback. There was nobody running the team.
Well, it started with no expectations. There really wasn't that expectation that this is going to be a dominant football team. This is going to be a team that, okay, we'll see how we do.
And Ryan, when you look at it and you do the coaches show out there, you and I went out to the first coaches show. I mean, Corey makes it dismal. I think it was bleaker than that.
Not many people knew what type of football team this was going to be, especially on the offense. Brand new offensive coordinator, Coach Garrett Campbell, came in first season here at Fullerton College. What's he do? He establishes a high-tempo offense. That Fullerton College, well, they were in shape to start off training camp, so they were able to step right into it game one.
Okay, we're going to talk a little more about the season when we wrap up this coaches show. We're going to all sit down and talk about our expectations. So let's flip to the present. 2016, Nathan Chappelle Stadium, American River. You and I were there for Butte. We went up to Butte with a team that should have won. Now you look at this team, Corey, I'm going to throw it at you and put you right on the spot. How good is this team and how good is American River?
I think this Fullerton College team, it might be the best all-around team that we've seen since we've been doing the broadcast, and that's been a long time. This is just a dynamic team all over the place. We've seen dynamic players, a dynamic offense, a dynamic defense, dynamic special teams, but we haven't seen it really all put together other than 2013 like this year. I mean, they've had the most athletic quarterback that I've ever seen at Fullerton College. They've had a defense that's risen above their expectations. This defense came in with, got a suspect defensive line. Linebackers, we don't know what to expect. Defensive backs, well, they're good. They're going to have to carry us, and it worked out well.
You know, and Ryan, when you think about that, you had the pleasure of going over to American River and talking to the head coach, a very large quarterback to say the least, a couple receivers when you think 5 deep that they all average double digits catching a pass. You were over there. What's American River going to bring to this game, even though they've lost twice against a very good Butte team? They lost once, and then they won the northern section against Butte.
Well, there's 2 things that American River is going to bring. Number 1 is they have a great mentality. They're led by Coach John Osterhaus. And Coach Osterhaus makes sure that his team moves on immediately. When they lost to Butte in double overtime in week 9 of the regular season, what happens immediately after? They circled the weekend that they would be able to play Butte again in the playoffs. They went out there and they beat Butte on that 44-yard touchdown pass. Speaking of that 44-yard touchdown pass, it's the guy who threw the ball downfield. Griffin Don has 2,111 passing yards on the season, also leads the team in rushing touchdowns. I asked him, how does he characterize his play and what he brings to the offense? He says, well, it's going to be a lot of athletic play. He wants to look at his reads first. If he's going to see his wide receivers, then he's going to go to them first. However, he loves to run. He said it himself. He loves to run. When he goes out to run, Fullerton College has to counter that with their linebackers.
Okay, so then I'm going to go back over to you because we could talk defense or offense, but let's start with the offense. Okay. You said maybe the best offense we've seen in quite a while. What do they need to do against maybe a pretty standard defense against American River?
Let's put it this way. They don't need to do anything that they haven't been doing all season long. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change any aspect of your offense because this is where it got you. We've seen in the past they get to a certain point, they get into a certain game, and the game plan changes. If Fullerton does that tonight or today, they lose.
And when American River takes on a prolific offense like they're going to take on with the Hornets, they've got to play against maybe 12 receivers, 5 running backs, Jordan Hoy, who is player of the year, a backup quarterback who's throwing at 80% clip. So what do you do defensively if you're American River?
Defensively, you have to send Rashawn York. He's one of the better pass rushers in the entire state of California. They need to be able to send him right up the middle, punch that offensive line of Fullerton College in the nose. If Fullerton College doesn't play physical on that offensive line, American River has a field day.
Okay, Corey, you said do the same thing on offense, but you've looked at the defense. You love D'Angelo Ross. You love Mr. Gordon as a tackler. The linebackers are better than thought. What's the defense need to do against a big quarterback that can run and throw?
Beginning of the season, it was a defensive backs to give them time to go one-on-one, to let their defensive line grow, to gel. Now that defensive line with Montre Bonner, Tyler Stepney, and the rest of them, they become dominant forces. They don't need to blitz all the time, and when those front 4, and they run about 8 of them out there, can get to the quarterback, which would allow the smaller defensive backs for Fullerton to go and match up well. And we've seen it before from Fullerton. They match up well against those bigger receivers. Well, Ryan can talk about those receivers from American River because we watch tape, and they are strictly dominant.
And when you talk about those receivers from American River, I mean, we got small defensive backs against receivers that have size, hand, and a quarterback that likes to throw that fastball high and outside. How do you play against these big receivers that are averaging double digits every time they catch a football?
First thing you have to look at is the safeties for Fullerton College. Tim Gordon has to be on top of his game. He needs to be able to undercut these routes that American River goes out and tries to execute. American River, sometimes they start to get a little lackadaisical when they run their routes. Tim Gordon steps up. He has an interception in this game.
Well, and I'm going to go to one thing we haven't talked about. The record holders. It starts with the center. It goes to the holder. And then when you're an Aguilar brother, you're saying, I own the record. I now own the record. You own the record. You know, I think special teams wins this game for the Hornets, be it Manny Weather running one back or a 50-yard field goal getting made.
I talked to Manyweather's father before the game, Anthony Manyweather, and he said, no, it wasn't him doing the talking. It was Justin doing the talking before the game. He was so hyped up for this game. However, Anthony said he has to get him calmed down because this special teams for Fullerton College, they have to make their reads. If Justin Manyweather goes upfield and he's not checking out his blockers, this is what his dad told me. If he's not checking out his blockers, then he's not going to be able to return a big one.
Well, like I said, don't forget, this is just the beginning of the Coaches Show. We're going to be here all day long on sportsnetusa.net. And stick around for the conclusion because we're going to sit next to the traditional statue of Hal Scherbeck. Corey Neyland, myself, Ryan Osborn. We're going to tell you what we thought about the season, who we thought were the best of the season, all here on sportsnetusa.net.
American River came into this game at 10-3 after their victory over Butte College in the Northern California Championship. That was a final score of 15-9 after a 44-yard touchdown pass from Griffin Don ends up being completed in the final seconds as American River wins the Northern California Championship. We would talk to Coach Osterhout out in Rancho Cucamonga where the American River Beavers were getting set to battle it out against Fullerton College on Saturday, December the 10th. Right now, we're here with the head coach of American River College, Coach John Osterhout. Coach Osterhout, how does it feel to be the Northern California champions?
It's pretty incredible. You know, we set outcome goals early on in January as we worked to prepare for the 2016 season, and certainly at the top of our outcome goal was to be state champions, and we're here. It's a little bit surreal. It's the second time American River College has played for a state title, and we couldn't be more happy to be down here in Southern California in preparation for the game tomorrow.
Does the travel affect your team at all?
No, you know, the administration really stepped forward to get us down here yesterday. We're accustomed to traveling. We don't necessarily stay the night anywhere we go, but we've had long bus rides. I mean, we had a 5-hour bus ride to Siskiyou this year. We had a 3+ hour ride to Fresno. We've been a 3+ hour ride to Feather River. So we've traveled, and we certainly take the professional approach here in our program. So, you know, it's business as usual. There are some different dynamics that have taken place, but we're very comfortable with where we're at right now.
You guys played Butte twice, once in the regular season and once in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. How do you think your team improved from the regular season game?
Well, we lost in the regular season game in Week 9 for a conference title, and it was a double overtime game at our place. And, you know, Butte's a traditional power up in the north. And we gave everything we had to win a NorCal title there to secure a playoff berth. And when we lost that game, ultimately we knew with a win in Week 10 that we would be the at-large bid and we'd have an opportunity to be able to play Butte again. And it's pretty ironic because we played them twice in 14. You know, we've had some tremendous battles against their football program. We know them extremely well. They know us. And, you know, we were just fortunate to come out on top and get us down into Southern California in the state title game.
15 points in that fourth quarter for you guys against Butte. How did you guys rally back?
We just don't flinch. You know, our program is built with a lot of smart, tough, dependable guys that are competitive and truly have a vested interest in each other. And, you know, we've been down in games. I mean, we're extremely battle-tested. And, you know, the course of our season and preparation and practice, our players know that we just continue to keep playing football. Good things are going to happen. We try not to stare at the scoreboard. We just try and stay process-based. And, you know, we made a couple adjustments, and guys made a couple plays there at the end to help us out. And, you know, we got the 2-point conversion to make it a touchdown, you know, 6-point lead. And pretty amazing considering the weather conditions, the field conditions, to be able to rally. But, again, a credit to our coaching staff and our players for getting the W there and scoring that 15 in the fourth.
You mentioned the field conditions, muddy all around at Butte. Yeah. How did you guys train for that?
Well, we played in a quagmire against Siskiyou. You know, we had 50-mile-an-hour gusts in that game. We had 30-mile-an-hour winds throughout the game, 25 to 30-mile-an-hour winds, and the grass lot there too, and really terrible field conditions. And we've had quite a bit of rain up in the north, so we've practiced on that type of footing out on our facility, which we're all grass in our stadium and our practice field. So we're pretty familiar with playing on that turf, which certainly helped us, and playing in that type of environment where it's wet and it's cold, and we're certainly excited to be in this weather here. This reminds us, of early fall for us, and it gets extremely hot in Sacramento, so we're not going to be affected by the 70-degree weather, but it is going to be a little bit warmer than what we've played in here over the course of the last 4 weeks.
What was going through your mind while that ball was going downfield, 44-yard touchdown pass?
Yeah, our quarterback threw the ball up, and the receiver, Torian, went up and made a play, and then kind of broke a tackle, pulled through some trash, and got in the end zone, and it was just really amazing. Again, all things considering, what was at stake with, having the opportunity to go to the state title. Just an amazing job. And again, that's just our players continue to have belief in each other and continue to just play in football. And our guy just went up and made a play.
You talk about the belief in each other that this team has. What is their greatest attribute?
I would say it's probably the brotherhood that they've created within the culture of the locker room. These guys, like I mentioned earlier, truly love each other. We firmly believe in our program that it's the coaching staff's job to love the players, and then in turn the players to love each other. And I think they've certainly showed that. I think we're also extremely resilient. We've been in tough situations, and we just continue to stay process-based, and that's what's got us into this position. We're built with smart, tough, dependable, competitive guys that really love each other, and that's kind of foundation blocks of our program, and I couldn't be more happy with where we're at right now, and just an incredible experience for these players, to play in a state championship game and have the opportunity to bring a Northern California title or a state championship title back to the North.
Well, thank you, Coach. We look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
We're now catching up with the quarterback for American River College, Griffin Don. Griffin, that 44-yard touchdown pass, what were you thinking when it went in the air?
So before the play happened, I just went through my pre-snap breathes, and I felt that Torian was going to be open. I let it go, and the conditions were kind of bad, but I had a good grip on it, so I felt pretty good when it was in the air, and he obviously came down with it, made a great play, so won us the game. It was pretty cool.
In that game, a lot of mud everywhere. How did you keep a grip on that football?
Well, if you watch the game, it really took 4 quarters to find a grip on any kind of football, and kind of towards the end of the game, I was kind of figuring it out, and I just kind of figured out, I kind of gripped it a little differently than I normally do. It wasn't as pretty as I'd like it to be, but it got there, so it's really all that mattered.
6'6". How do you use your size to your advantage?
Well, it helps me see over the line. Other than that, I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm not really shy when I run, and I just kind of use it to my advantage. I think it helps me take a lot of hits, so I know that I can take some hits that other guys can't, so I'm just not afraid to play, not afraid to be in the pocket, and it's kind of where it goes.
You lead the team in rushing touchdowns. How did you add that element to your game?
I don't know. I didn't know I was going to run as much as I did this year, but in the offseason, I wanted to be more athletic. I wanted to get bigger, faster, stronger, it's just kind of what we do here at ARC. Everybody gets better athletically, and so it happened for me, and going into this year, I just felt more confident as an athlete as well as a quarterback, and it translated to the field, thankfully for our team too.
How are you guys preparing for the state championship mentally?
Like every other week. We know it's a bigger game because it is a bigger game. It's more important. It's a state championship game. It's the last game. It's the last game I get to play with my best friends. But it's just another game. We're just trying to get better every day. That's what we're going to do today. We're just going to try and get better, and we're going to give them our best, and usually our best is enough. So that's what we're going to do.
What's your style of playing as a quarterback?
Just whatever system I'm in. Doesn't really matter. I just try to fit to the system that I'm playing in. Here's the spread. We run the quarterback a lot, so right here I'm more of probably a pocket passer, but I'm also I try to be as dual threat as I can because that's what we need for our team.
Thank you, Griffin. We'll let you get back to practice, and good luck on Saturday.
Have a good one.
And right now we're with one of the defensive backs here at American River College, Moses Valcarcel. Moses, state championship. How do you prepare for something like that?
You got to stay focused and keep on doing the same thing you've been doing all year. The morning workouts, the meal preps, the hard study hours, to ensure that you're even eligible to play, the long practices, the meetings, everything that you got to put in and got to continue on. It's the same thing, nothing different.
You're one of the leading tacklers on the defense. How do you take that part of your game into being a defensive back?
Honestly, it's just stick your nose down, be aggressive, and wrap up, honestly. Make sure that you get to the ball carrier as quick as possible, and don't let them continue to get yards.
Is there something that your coaches have been working on with you specifically this year?
No, I mean, they don't treat me as special as anybody else on this field or on this team. They treat everybody the same. It's about who wants it the most and who's going to step up and put in the work and the time and the effort and all of that to, I guess, becoming where I'm at.
Once you guys realized that you were going to play Butte for the second time, what was the feeling in the locker room?
Excitement, like a little bit spiteful because we know what should have happened the first time, and we wanted that. We had that taste of revenge in our mouth. We was ready to get back at them.
In that Butte game, what was the toughest thing about that game?
I guess just the weather conditions. We had to overcome some adversity, and that was about it. It was a muddy game. It was hard traction, but I mean, can't come up with no excuses.
Your defense ended up shutting down Butte College over the last 3 quarters. How'd you guys do it?
Hard work and resilience. That's it. Continuing to line up and get the play call and do everything that we had to do.
Which do you prefer, interception or forcing a fumble and recovering?
Well, I would rather force the fumble. Yeah, come down and lay some wood.
Why is that?
Just the aggressive perception I have on football. I mean, the interceptions are always nice, but they don't always come.
Well, thank you, Moses. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
After we spoke to American River, we come out to the championship game for American River and Fullerton College. Both of these teams had to battle out drear conditions in the weather, but both teams ended up bringing out a lot of fans, and we spoke to some of them before the game in the parking lot.
To my son, I'm so proud of you. You're going to do a great job, and you're on your way to the next level. Mom loves you.
Hey, my name is Anthony Manyweather, the father of Justin Manyweather, number 39, punt returner, kickoff returner, and slot receiver.
Mr. Manyweather, how did it feel to see your son get so many receptions in that game against Ventura?
You know, it was really, I really felt good for him. You know, being a starter for most of his life, playing football, and then come out here for a JC and play and get all those receptions. It made me feel really, really proud of him. And I'm sure he's proud of himself also.
How did you talk to him before this state championship game?
Actually, he was talking to me. He was more like, Dad, I'm ready for this. I've never been ready for a game ever in my life. So I told him, hey, keep that spirit going. You know, do something dynamic. Yep.
Do you have any words for him before this game?
Words are, man, just do what you do, have fun. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Have fun.
Hi, I'm Allie Osterhout, and I'm John Osterhout's wife.
Ms. Osterhout, how does it feel like to be in this state championship game?
We just feel really blessed that we have this opportunity, and our guys and coaching staff has worked really hard to get here. So we're blessed with the opportunity. We're going to do everything we can today to get it done.
What did your husband do to prepare for this game mentally?
You know, he really told the players that they already have it within them, that they've been preparing the whole year for this. So he just tried to instill that confidence in them, and that they already have all the tools that they need. I think they're really focused. Yeah. I'll go.
So, Mr. Booth, what does it feel like to be the athletic director of a NorCal champion?
Oh, this is awesome. This is my first semester there, and having the guys go through the season the way that they did, man, this is tremendous. It's a great feeling.
As an athletic director, how difficult was it to arrange everything so that way they could come down here for the championship?
You know what? It's team effort. It wasn't all on me. We had great support from upper administration. We had great support from families to help pull this together. I think the guys have had a great experience. Actually, I know they've had a great experience. So this is awesome. I think we're going to have a great game today.
Do you have any words for the players before we go?
Hey, go Beavers.
So we look at this, Ryan, right now we got Jim Fossil, known NFL coach. Hey, once a Hornet, always a Hornet. That's why Jim's out here. Of course, the man standing next to him, Gene Murphy's right-hand man, Mickey Flynn. All right? The ghost of La Palma Park and the high school era, Corey Neyland. You talk about history at Fullerton College. There's two men right there encapsulated the history of Hornet football. The loneliness of a defensive coordinator, Ryan, before a game. Brian Crooks out there looking at American River. One player's mistake can cost you the national championship, and as a coach, you'll take that play home every night and not be able to sleep because you'll see it just when you lay your head on the pillow. Brian Crooks, heart and soul of the defense for the Hornets.
Marcus, you played here in 14-15, interception to seal the game against Cerritos. How does it feel like to see the Hornets back here in the championship?
To see the Hornets in the championship is probably the most overwhelming, exciting feeling that I could possibly have, even though I'm not playing this year. But just to be a part of the team, to be around the practices, to be in the meetings with them, to just talk with them, to fellowship with the team. It's just been such a blessing to see that they're in this position to win another state title, and just to put other kids that don't have the grades and stuff like that, for them to come to a junior college that is a powerhouse college, that has fun, that is a team, as a unit, just to come out here and win. It's a great opportunity for my boys. I know pretty much all the team personally, and I just pray God's blessing over the whole team and for all the coaches and everybody that's out here supporting. I'm very excited, very excited.
As a Hornet, you were one of the better hype men for the entire team. How do you keep them in check?
So every time I watch the game, I watch the positions of my boys that I know that, okay, like this is what they got to do, this and that. I watch them, I critique them, because most of the time they'll either ask me or something, or I'll just go out there and I'll tell them, like, look, bro, you're doing this, and this is what they doing, this is what you can adjust to, whatever. You know, just a little side notes according to what the coaches are telling them to do and stuff like that, because I'll be listening to the coaches and stuff like that, watching the game, just evaluating. So I just try to keep them turned, even if they make a bad play or something, I just try to keep them turned just so that the energy is still the same, so that, you know, we can continue doing what we got to do, because it's just a play, you feel me? Every down is important, so just because we mess up one play doesn't mean, you know, the next play we can't get it right, you feel me? So I just try to encourage them as much as I can, talk to the coaches as much as I can, just try to be in the loop, because, you know, Fullerton, baby, you feel me? We rocking with Fully.
The game would start off with the opening coin flip as American River ends up winning the toss, but elects to defer to the second half. Fullerton College was more than happy to be able to take that football to start off the game, and it was DeAndre McNeil who ends up taking it for Fullerton College, takes the kickoff for a little over 10 yards, and that's where Fullerton College would start inside their own 20. Jordan Hoy was at the helm for Fullerton College. For Fullerton, their offense started to sputter after an initial first down over to Asante Wilder. It ends up being DeAndre McNeil's fumble that gives the American River Beavers great field position to start off their very first possession of the game. Fullerton College was on their heels as Griffin Dunn came out firing and got the Beavers to within scoring range. So for American River, they had an initial first down, and it looked like they would be in prime position to score the game's first touchdown. However, offense started to slow down as Fullerton College defense started to step up. Tyler Stepney getting in on the rushing attempt there by American River. It would line them up for a 41-yard field goal try by Max O'Rourke. O'Rourke's kick would end up being low, but it was straight and strong, and it would be a 3-0 lead for the American River Beavers to start off the football game, with Fullerton College fully on their heels and reeling.
The 35-yard line. That's where American River will take over 1st and 10.
Stay in those blocks even longer. All right? Let's go, gentlemen. We need to answer. Bingo, 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 bingo. Hey, watch double move. Watch double move. Look.
So we're at the end of the first quarter here at the state championship game and possibly the national championship game on sports.usa.net. The Hornets, well, I tell you what, they've got a flat tire right about now because they're not moving any place. DeAndre McNeil had an opportunity, stretches out a little too long, has the ball knocked away, and American River gets the big first turnover. What do they do with it? Well, they sort of hit a side-winding field goal that was 2.5 feet off the ground, and some reason a little updraft caught it, and it just made it through the uprights to give them a 3-0 lead. The Hornets are looking flat. The Beavers are doing what they need to do. It's a 3-point game with 15 minutes to go in this first half. We'll see if Coach Garrett sort of unleashes the offense and if Coach Crooks unleashes the defense. That's what we need as we start the second half. The Hornets are down 3-0.
Both teams brought out a great contingency of fans as 4,200 people ended up showing up for the championship game between Fullerton College and American River. Fullerton College's coaches, they were dialed in, and so was the defense, as they were able to hold American River to another field goal, and Max O'Rourke was able to kick it in for American River. So the Beavers ended up having a 6-0 lead despite the scoreboard malfunction saying 9-0. Both teams got it corrected, but it was American River who was in full control of this football game after Fullerton College had to punt twice and had a fumble for a turnover.
The Hornets 0.
River, who ended up going deep. Griffin Dawn to Arthur Jackson from 62 yards out. It allowed the score to be 14-13 at the half, as we ended up talking to some of the alumni from Fullerton College who showed up at the game. So I'm here with a host of former Fullerton College Hornets. Actually, they're still Fullerton College Hornets, because once a Hornet, always a Hornet. Guys, you guys played under the Hal Scherbeck era. What was that like?
Actually, it was a well-disciplined and a well-functioning team. We worked off of discipline, we worked off of fundamentals and skill sets. So as a defensive back, we worked with Al Fiola, probably one of the greatest defensive back coaches I've worked under. So this is an awesome time. Fun.
Mr. Crandall, your son now plays for Fullerton College. He's in this championship game. How does that feel?
It's amazing. I'm very proud of them. They've done a great job all year. They deserve it.
Were there any words that you told him before this game?
Good luck. Don't get hurt.
When you come back to a game like this and you revisit the Hornets, does a certain sense of nostalgia come back?
It does, you know, seeing some of these old faces, and it just brings back the, I don't know, I think football was a little more innocent back then. You just played for your friends and your teammates, and watching these Fullerton guys, I can tell they're well coached, and they're playing for themselves. They're out there high-fiving each other, and kind of like the Scherbeck way. It's great to see.
When we speak of the Scherbeck way, I'll go over to my right. How does the Scherbeck way differ from most college coaches?
Well, he was one of those coaches that didn't really play around. You couldn't get away with too much, if you know what I mean. And I knew him ever since I was like 7 years old. I was a ball boy for the Hornets. Wow. Back in the 60s, my mom and dad both taught there. So I knew the Scherbecks for good probably 45 years, and very special man, good guy.
I'll bring you guys into it as former Hornets. When you see a game like this here back at Fullerton, How do you personally support the Fullerton College Hornets?
Well, I attend these games every year and follow them just because we were, once a Hornet, always a Hornet. So we're always coming to these games. They're always fun to see.
Is there a special memory that you have of being a Fullerton College Hornet?
Sure there is. I mean, one of the big things is the legacy of being a Hornet. It's unbelievable how strong the legacy of this college is. In a single moment, there's a lot of moments. So I can't give you a single one, but just being a part of the Hornet team, being in this organization was phenomenal because the coaching staff was just top notch. And it kept everybody on their game in the game of football and in life also. So it was really, really phenomenal. Great coaching staff. Glenn Thomas, Al Fiola, Coach Hal Scherbeck, Marv Sampson. It was just a great, great coaching staff, And Bill Chambers is our trainer.
Mick Duff.
And Mick Duff. and our equipment guy just passed away. God bless him.
Norm Perez.
Norm Perez. So anyway, glad to
Bill
be part.
Chambers.
Already said Bill.
Oh,
glad to be part of the family.
Pay attention.
Yeah, so great
We were
time.
together probably 35, 40 years together, that group of guys. I think that made a big difference.
Do you guys have any words for the current Fullerton College team?
Win. Go win.
Second half, turn it around and take off and run. If they're averaging 50 points a game, let's keep going. They should have no problem with it.
Well, there you have it from a host of Hornets here at the National Championship game. So from one era to the other, now I have another group of Fullerton College Hornets. And guys, right now you're at the possible National Championship game. What does it feel like to be back?
I mean, it's great to see the guys out here competing, working hard. Hopefully they can finish the game up. It's 14-13 right now. I think they got it.
Playing under the Gene Murphy era, what was it like to play for Coach Murphy?
I think he was a guy of tradition and a guy who was kind of made of working hard and kind of putting guys in the right position to succeed. And I think that's kind of continued to translate as to why I think 13 years later, here we are, still doing well.
13 years later, you guys are reuniting for the first time. How does that feel?
It's awesome, man. It's just football's a brotherhood, the camaraderie, just being out here with the fellas and watching, our Hornets just balling out and going for a state and possible national championship. I mean, that's why we did it, and we love to see the program still going strong.
Being back here with your buddies, how does it feel to know that you guys went from playing here and now you're the alumni watching the current team?
It doesn't feel very good, actually. A lot of sore bones and muscles throughout the year, but that's what's great about Hornet football. We all played here together. We still talk 13, 14 years later together, and when we get together, it's like we never left. We still horse around. We still have a great unity that is really kind of unexplainable with other sports. So I think that's definitely what Hornet football is all about, and it's great to be here. Great to see the support from everybody, and great to see the different years of alumni being here and being supportive. It's a great tradition that Fullerton has really stepped up to the plate and been able to deliver every year.
When you guys talk about tradition, how did Fullerton College affect you guys?
Oh, it affected me quite a bit. I know personally, you talked about brotherhood and friendships and things like that, but Fullerton itself, it's a community. We all came together from different high schools, and then we all went on to do different things at different colleges at different levels too as well. So we're able to come back here and, like you said, hang out and not skip a beat. That's pretty awesome, pretty impressive for me. And these guys are like family, even though I haven't seen these guys in a few years. It's like we picked up right where we left off. It's cool.
When you mentioned coming together from different high schools, how did the coaching staff help you guys unite?
The coaching staff helped us unite because they just put us all together, and it was like, hey, go get along because we're going to practice hard. So like they said, it became a brotherhood and a family because we practiced hard and we spent so much time together that we didn't have a choice. So we all became friends, it was family, and we still have our lasting bonds now. So it's awesome to be able to hang out with these guys and see Fullerton doing a really good job and being successful.
Is there a specific memory that stands out for you?
Oh, there's a lot. Between the interesting practices that we had together, we did compete. We competed Monday through Thursday very hard, and when it came down Saturday, we all came out as one team and executed. A lot of memories. They gave us great memories. We all went on to Division I college and played the next level, and shout out to Coach Murph. This game's for you, buddy. We miss you.
Well, there you have it. Right now, we are at the 2016 California State Championship. And we're also joining us, Coach Vanderveer. Coach, now that you're a coach, how do you see the game differently?
You know, I mean, this game is just like every other game. You know, I'm a fan, so it's just coming out and enjoying the, you know, two good teams playing a good game. I mean, when you're coaching, you get to break down film and get more in depth with the different phases of it. But now it's just having fun with a bunch of the guys, you know, and watching some good football. And it's a great game so far, and hopefully it'll finish out that way.
So we'll see how this turns out after halftime ends. Once again, we are at the half here at the 2016 State Championship for California. So right now we're here with more Fullerton College Hornets. On my left, Michael Thomas. You played here, played for the Rams, but let's start here under the Hal Scherbeck era.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were blessed to have been tutelaged by Coach Scherbeck and Coach Thomas and Coach Sampson. Not only with football, you know, but with life, you know. They were an extension of our family. I mean, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So we're here representing and you know, once a Hornet, always a Hornet.
How did Fullerton College help you going forward?
Well, like I said, I mean, it helped me not only, you know, pursue my career in football through, you know, college and then also professionally, but just in life. I mean, I've got 3 kids, and the things that I learned here, I now teach my kids, you know. So, I mean, you know, I can't thank Coach Scherbeck and the coaching staff and the school enough.
Just a moment ago, you were mentioning that you played in Coach Scherbeck's final game.
Correct.
How did that feel?
Man, a great feeling. Coach Scherbeck had a tradition where anytime you would win, he would take his teeth out and let the team see his teeth. So to see that on his last hooray, carrying them off on our shoulders, just means so much. And just being here at the stadium right now brings back so many fond memories. As Mike said, it's just extension of family, and that was embodied in the players under the Coach Scherbeck era. And just once a Hornet, always Hornet. And that's why you see so many players such as myself and all kind of age generations from my age to way older than me, and just getting a chance to see our old coaches and have you talking about the history of Fullerton College means a lot to us. Thank you.
Mr. Leon, as a punter, you were here same time as these guys.
You bet. So great experience, great family. Like Mike said, Coach Scherbeck and staff taught us about life and not just football, and it was just great to be here and be part of the Hornet family. So.
How did Coach Scherbeck's staff differ from other staffs that you've been on?
You know, I've had a lot of caring coaches, but you just felt like you were in the presence of greatness when you were around Coach Scherbeck. And one of fellow Hornets referred to him as a legend the other day, and I agree. He was just great as a coach, and you just felt his presence everywhere you went, whether you were in classes or on the field.
Well, thank you, guys. We're going to let you get back to the football game as we just come out of halftime.
Thank you.
First possession for American River, they have to punt. Fullerton College, they end up taking it all the way down to the American River 9. Jonathan Aguilar, however, misses the 26-yard field goal wide left, and Fullerton College ends up giving the ball back. The Beavers, first pass from Chris Guillen, who just enters the game for Griffin Dawn, is intercepted by Javon Burrs at the 25. Javon takes it all the way to the house, and Fullerton College defense gets them on the board. Fullerton College up 20-13, but then a key play happens as Gerald Hewlett takes the handoff from Jordan Hoy, but reverses it, throws it back to Jordan Hoy for a 2-point conversion, and Fullerton College is on top, 22-13.
Good job.
Both teams would punt it back and forth, but it was Fullerton College and Jordan Hoy who hands it off to Anthony Wood for a 40-yard score, and Fullerton College now leads big as they now have the 29-13 lead over American River. The Beavers found themselves in a big hole as the clock was ticking down in the third quarter.
One all the way down to the 30.
Fullerton College here in the third quarter with 6:19 to play. 29-13 as they're winning against American River. And again, this second half, they've scored twice, and it's the defense that's really taking control with the pick six by Javon Burris and an interception there by Taj Jones. Fullerton looks like they've got their stride back.
I tell you what, it's the defensive line is bringing heat all day long. And right now, if you're American River, it's got to be those little 2-and-out, Corey, because you're getting no protection from your offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Griffin Dunn and the Beavers trying to get back into the football game, trailing 29-21. It was Griffin Dunn who would end up being pressured from behind by Tyler Stepney, throws up an off-balance pass deep downfield, ends up being picked off right there by D'Angelo Ross. D'Angelo Ross with his second interception of the game for Fullerton College, and it gave Fullerton College possession. However, the Hornets couldn't do anything with it, but they still were up by 8. As American River took the football back, marched all the way downfield, touchdown American River College, and they're now only down by 2. An extra point would bring them to within 1. A 2-point conversion would tie the game at 29-all. American River goes for the 2-point conversion. Xavier Chisholm picks it off, tries to go the other way and gets tackled around the 35. College was trying to get downfield. They had one last chance with just under 2 minutes remaining. Max O'Rourke had kicked a 41-yard field goal earlier in the game, so they needed to get to at least the 30-yard line or so for American River to have a chance at winning the title with less than a minute to go. Griffin Dawn tries to go with a deep pass for American River, picked off by Taj Jones. Yeah! Yes! Yeah!
Congratulations to both clubs. Great football game. Please remain for the presentation coming up on the field.
The closer right here. You know what I'm saying? 3 playoff games, 3 picks, 1 to the crib. You know what I'm saying? DB Jew.
Get in that ring! Get in the ring! Good luck in the shower tonight! It's over with. We got it. It's a wrap. Champions. We gonna do it again next year. Hey, it's just 100 years. 100 years. Destiny. It was destiny. It was destiny. Really big team. Let's go. Boy. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I got you, bro. I got you. Hold on. Hey, get in here. We gotta get the dice game. Hey, dice game, boy. Let's get this dice game. Get that dice game. Let's get this dice game. Hey, dice game. Okay. Let's get the dice game. Okay, let's go. Let's get the dice game. Let's go. Hey, what you got? What you got?
We're here with Montre Bonner after the win. Montre, defensive line came up huge.
Yes, sir. We just kept working what we worked in practice, trusted our coach's play calling, and executed.
You had a little friendly wager with Tyler Stepney. You predicted 3.5 sacks. You guys got close with 3.
Yeah, I still won. Thank God. My man still got the player of the game, so I'm happy for him. I came out strong. He came out strong. We got the win.
What was the hardest thing about this game?
Hard thing about this game is just taking it all in, that we're actually here and just executing and doing what we know that we can do.
Champions, how does that feel?
Great. Just put life in you. Feel like I can actually get this recovery going.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we're here with Jamal Scott, linebacker for Fullerton College. Jamal, linebackers, how'd you guys take them apart?
Man, we schemed them for like 2 weeks, so we got 2 weeks to look at them. So we was really prepared coming into this game. You know, we did bend, don't break. We gave up a few, but at the end of the game, we came out with the outcome we wanted. So we good.
What was the number one thing you guys saw in that offense?
You know, the quarterback was big, so we wanted to contain him, not let him get out the pocket and run. And, I mean, we felt like we could match up with him real well. We felt we were real confident as a defense as a whole. So we didn't really have no worries coming out of it. I kind of lost my breath, my voice, my fault.
It's no problem. Congratulations on winning the championship this year. We look forward to seeing you in the future.
Got you, Coach. Got you.
Anthony Wood, running back here for Fullerton College. Anthony, we talked to you before the game last week.
Yes, sir.
You guys are still preparing. How does it feel to actually have played in the game?
Man, it feels amazing. Just to know that all the hard work we put in throughout the summer and spring finally paying off, man. It's the best day of my life, man.
In that first quarter and in that third quarter, you had a touchdown that helped seal the game for Fullerton College. How'd that feel?
Man, the O-line just did a great job of just opening up. All I had to do was really run through it, so I just did what I was supposed to do. So thank you to the big fellas up front.
What does it feel like to be on top?
Words can't even describe how happy I am right now, man. I've been at Fullerton for 3 years, and just knowing that all this hard work finally pays off. This is what I wanted since I came in, so to finally do it, it's an amazing feeling, man.
Well, congratulations, Anthony, and we look forward to seeing you. We're here with Jamichael Moore. Jamichael, you had to face a little bit of adversity during this season, but you got back in it and you played in the state championship.
Man, it feels good. I mean, I was down and out a little bit at first, but then, you know, my coaches, they kept telling me, no, just keep going. You're going to be all right.
Looking back over the season, what was one thing your coaches preached to you?
Don't stop. No matter what gets in your way, don't stop.
In that second half, it was the defense who came up key. What'd you guys do?
We just executed. Like, our coaches, we didn't start so well in the first half. We got inside the locker room. Our coach said we just need to get back to playing like we played versus Riverside. So that's what just happened.
Congratulations, Jamichael. We'll see you in the future.
Yes, sir.
We're here with the defensive MVP for Fullerton College, Tyler Stepney. How's it feel to have that trophy in your hand?
Speechless, man. Grateful. Thanking God, man. Just living in the moment for right now. Just trying to live in the moment.
You pressured the quarterback, Don, early in that first half, established a physical game. How'd that help you guys?
Coach Crooks told us if we want to blitz, we have to do it fast. And I'm not the biggest defensive end, so I got to take advantage of what God gave me, and he gave me speed, so let's go fast and hit him hard.
When you use that speed, you win a championship. How does it feel?
It feels great. We worked for a long time to get this, so we finally got it. The day finally come. I'm just happy for the coaching staff. Coach Burns put so much in it. Coach Crooks, Coach Campbell. You can go on and on down the list, man. That great group of guys. That's a great staff, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it, man.
Thank you, Tyler. Good luck.
Appreciate that, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're here with Marcus Grossman, slot receiver for Fullerton College. Marcus, you exploded during that middle half of the season. What'd you find?
Man, I just want to thank, first of all, Coach Griff. I want to thank Coach Burns. I want to thank Coach Campbell, the offensive coordinator, for believing in me. I grade-shirted last year, man. I was working hard for this, man. I worked hard for everything. The whole team worked hard for everything. We deserve this. So I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank Jordan, the quarterback, for trusting me with those balls, man. I'm just happy right now. We get it done, man.
Speaking of happy, championship. You guys brought it to Fullerton College.
Yes, sir, man. It feels good, man. It's the 100th year anniversary of Fullerton College, man, and it just feels good to do this for the college. I think this is the 5th time we won this in 100 years, so it's real rare, and I'm just happy to be a part of it, man.
We're here with Xavier Chisholm, linebacker for Fullerton College. We were here back when you guys looked at Santa Ana in Game 1. How's the team changed from then till now?
We grew together, man. This team is so close. That's what makes us, able to pull out the tough games, able to blow teams out, just able to win in so many ways, and just because of how close we are together.
You talk about overcoming adversity, lost to Saddleback. How'd you guys come back from that?
We came out. It was a tough loss, but we came out and we worked harder than we ever have. We never stopped from then. We used that as motivation. We told ourselves we were not going to lose any other game, and so that's what we came out and we did, and now we're state champions.
What do you feel like was the biggest play for you in this game?
The biggest play for us, there was so many, man. The DBs really played well. They got so many interceptions. The defensive line, they were getting pressure, and then the linebackers, we helped with some tackles. So I just think we all played good together. I wouldn't single anything out.
Well, congratulations, Xavier.
We're here with defensive coordinator Brian Crooks, who I've known for the past 15 years. Brian, 2013 was close. 2016, when we started, you looked at me and said, Mark, I don't know what I have, so I'm going to ask you, when you bake that cake and you get to here, what was the year like?
It was an awesome year. The kids were awesome all year. They bought into what we wanted to teach them, and they just played hard. And, I love all those kids. I told them before the game I loved them, and it was sweet to win with this group.
Coaches get a lot of awards and everything else, but I got to ask you, when the moment happened, what was the first thing that ran through your mind?
Finally we finished it and got it. I've been doing this 19 years now, and Burns 21, and we've been so close, and to finally finish it, and it was sweet. And that ice bath was probably the best thing I've ever felt.
And the young man standing next to you, who happens to be your nephew. All right, family aside, just say it the way you really feel as a defense coordinator about this young man.
He's a hell of a player. I've seen him since he was born, and watch him grow up and work all these years over here, and have him come over here for the first year, and we win a state championship together, and there's nothing sweeter than that. And then to watch him, go on in the 4-year, that's going to be even sweeter. But we're going to remember the rest of our lives that we won a state title together.
Well, and now I got to flip it over. You get to play for your relative, your uncle. You're out there and you're giving it all, and everybody, I'm sure, looks at you and says, coaches, we think you're a great defensive ball player, but what was it like playing for somebody who you admire, adore, and love with all your heart?
He was on me a lot. I just came in, learned the system, played the game the way he wanted me to play, and just did everything he told me to do, and things worked out.
And, of course, at the end of the day, I got to ask you, we've cried a lot on the air. There's got to be thoughts about some of the players that have been around, the ones that you love that aren't here today, and even a coach that you had around. Did those thoughts go through your mind?
All the time. We had the alumni here, the kids that flew in here and watched our game. Some of our guys from 13 were here, and to hug them and see them, their faces, they're happy just for us to win it. They were short in 13, but they were really happy for us to win it this year, and it's just sweet to win this thing.
All I could say to both of you is congratulations, state national champs, and I'm going to put the word national on there.
Yes, they should be. We're national champions. Should be. Thank you.
Brian Crooks, and his nephew, Mr. Parcells, Defensive Player of the Year, as far as we were concerned, here for the Hornets, now state and national champions. It's been a heck of a journey for you.
It's been crazy. I love my team. I love my coaches. This is unbelievable. This is unlike anything I've ever been a part of. Shout out to D'Angelo Ross. He's the man.
And I talked to you for such a second, so I'm going to shove you out of the way real quick because I'm going to get
this man right here.
These two good-looking guys. I got D'Angelo Ross and Mr. Burris standing next to me, and I tell you what, never seen a better-looking group of 3 men together in your whole life, right? That's here on Sportsnet. Guys, we did the coaches show. We talked about the defense. winning the game the other day with Ryan Osborn. Picks. The defense won it, but the defense has carried this team all year long. The brotherhood of defensive backs, what's that like?
It's great, man. We're really brothers. We hang out all the time. We do everything together. Our meetings are funny. We really hang out. Like, we're really like brothers. It's not like a team. It's really brothers. It's amazing.
And D'Angelo, we've looked at you and everybody. We've talked to Phil Austin. Corey Neyland standing over there that knows more about Hornet history than anybody, thinks you're probably one of the B defensive backs of all time. Maybe two. But I mean, really, you've had people all your life look at you and say, you're 5'8", you're 5'9", you're 5'10". Where's the attitude come where you play like you're 6'5" against everybody?
I just got to have a chip on my shoulder and make sure, nobody's just going to push me around or tell me I'm too small. So that's how I play every week.
Did the chip fall off your shoulder when you guys won the state, and I'm calling it national championship tonight?
Nah, it never fell off, man. We knew we would be here. We prepared all year for this. We knew we was going to be here, man. We worked hard. I can honestly say we worked hard. So you see a lot of people crying and running around here in tears, man. We knew it, man. The chip's still there, too.
Yeah, they have the mindset to do it again, I think, too.
Yeah, next year, watch out.
Who's coming back?
We got Taj Jones, the man who won the game right there.
Hey, we got some boys coming back. Watch.
There's a lot of people.
We're going to celebrate this moment, but next year, keep your eyes open.
And I'll tell you what, wherever these two young men go, you won't meet a finer group of young men than we have met all year long. Gentlemen, I got to just thank all of you for being wonderful young men and great student athletes. Thanks for letting us be associated with you.
We appreciate y'all for covering us. Really appreciate it.
This was great. I'm glad we could do this together.
Thank you. Yes, two of the best defensive backs in Hornet history.
Javon
Burris and D'Angelo Ross. So I got Dominic Sanchez here. Look at this. I'm big enough to be a defensive player and offensive lineman, don't I?
I think so.
Look at that.
Defensive end,
Defensive end is what I am. You look at the 1920. You look at this team, and it's been out here. You guys started off, nobody knew who you were to start the season off. And, I mean, you were the unknown group when you started, and now you get to this point. So how did it work from that first day where everybody sort of looked at you defensive linemen and said, who are you guys, and are you really that good?
I mean, we talk with our pads. We didn't really have much to say. We just going to show it on the field week by week, day by day. We put in our work, and turns out we showed who we are with our shoulder pads.
When you look at this defensive unit, and I'm going to flip over here, you look at this defensive unit, I keep hearing the word love, companionship, brotherhood. I mean, yeah, those are cliches. But Ryan and I were out there. I mean, this was a team, not a personal thing for anybody. True?
Very true. Coming from Centennial, you believe that you are going to win all the time. So it's instilled in your minds that I have your back, you have my back, and we're going to get it done together. It's not like I'm going to do my part. I don't know if you're going to do your part. I believe in you. You believe in me. And when you believe in each other as a team, and you just click, you just get things done way more easy.
You had coaches that we've been around, Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and I. Tell me a little bit about Brian Crooks. Tell me a little bit about Tom Deep, different personalities out there.
All I can say is Coach Crooks is the GOAT. He knows defense, front and back of his hand. Coach Deep, it's a fun guy to be around, but he likes hard work and he pushes us to strive to be better.
And you get people like Phil Austin that are giving you guys a bunch of lip out there all the time. So tell me, you've come from some lineage of good coaches in your career as a football player. What about these Hornet coaches?
I mean, they're all great coaches. That's why every day they give us what we need to win. They don't do anything wrong. And, Crooks is serious all the time. Coach Deep, he'll joke around, but at the end of the day, you got to get the work done, and that's what their main preacher is.
So the work got done. Congratulations on the state championship and national champions, state champions, and national champions. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, all right, and of course, here's a man we talk about all the time because we get to talk to his dad all the time. Jeff, your dad walked up to us today. He said, "Are you guys nervous?" And of course, you're on the coaches show. Jordan, everybody looks at the person. You got the trophy in your hand, but I've got to say, as a leader of this team, I never saw you walk around like, I'm the quarterback, I'm the guy. How do you take that humbleness and roll it over into being just a team leader?
I mean, it's I mean, like you said, I mean, it's a team effort. So, I mean, I can't just put it all on me. My guys, they go out and work just as hard as, if not even more hard than I do every day. So, I mean, we're out there day in and day out, putting in the work, you know, and that's just what we did. We came out here, we executed, and we ended up getting the W.
You know, when the season started, the Hornets had no quarterback. We basically went to practice. Everybody said, got no quarterback. All of a sudden, we hear about a young man that comes out of nowhere, which was you at the time. How was that decision made where you decided to come to this community college?
I just felt like it was a better opportunity for me out here. You know, I've never even been to Cali. You know, it was my first time out here. So, you know, I got to see all the sights and at the same time play football in some pretty nice weather. So, I mean, it's not a bad gig out here.
And it's a pretty nice group of guys you've got to play with. All I can say is congratulations on the state championship and the national championship. And I hope to see you next year.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're talking about touchdown passes, and of course we talk about a receiving core that, well, what we can do. What, name 12 receivers you can throw to?
They all can go.
And we've got a young man sitting here that, you know, when somebody says Gross to the outside, Grossman in the middle, Asante Wilder in a slot, DeAndre McNeil out this right. I mean, talk about a group of guys that love each other. That's what we've got to say when we talk about you as receivers out there for the Hornets.
We just come together as a group, you know. At the beginning of the year, we knew what it take to get a state championship. We knew we had to work day in, day out, even on our off days. And we call ourselves the money team, you know, so we all about our money. We just had to go and get it. Had to put a chip on our shoulder.
And when you go and get it, I mean, when the ball gets thrown up, especially in a game like this, do you as a receiver, is the game bigger than life in this game today, or do you just look at each other and say, it's just another football game?
To us, it's just another football game. We knew it's the main goal, but we all know with deep balls or anything one-on-one, we take 50-50 shots. So we leaving. We had to take a shot, so.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. You're the leader of the team. A receiver just looked at me and said, state national championship is just any other football game. Is this the one time where you might look at me and say, well, Mark, maybe my receivers aren't giving it to you straight?
No, I mean, we literally said that before the game started. This is just another game, you know.
Yes, sir.
We just came out here prepared like we know we needed to, and got the W, got the trophy.
Yeah. Well, it has been so much fun watching you gentlemen as a team. I want to thank both of you for being just wonderful young men, first of all, because that's what this entire group has been. And the group of players beyond that just exceeded our expectations and everybody here this year. Thank you for being who you two are and representing this great team.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And look at one last guy, because you know what? I got a receiver here. I got two more behind us. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Timmy, don't go away. I got a coach. I got a coach here that said to me all year long, how many touchdowns were you going to put up against everybody?
Man, a lot. A whole lot, man. I said we was the best receiver core in the country. So I said it. We had the best quarterback. And it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. So got the best receiver coach in the country.
The best receiving coach is what he just told us.
Country. And we got the best quarterback. And I've been telling them all year that we got the best offense in America.
And when we talk about that quarterback you were just talking about there, we didn't have a quarterback. The rumor has it that the man standing right next to me is the guy that made sure that Jordan Hoy became a Hornet for life. You're the one that went out and told this young man the best play to play JUCO football was over at Fullerton College.
Yeah, like I told him. I mean, it was the hardest recruit I ever had to pull off, but I just knew his skill set. I hadn't seen nothing like that out here in California, so I just knew he was going to be a different make. I think he's the best player in the country, if you ask me. I've been saying it all year. I think the kid who's going to win the Heisman and Joy Hoy, the best two college football players in the country. So he proved it all year. So hopefully he'll be California Player of the Year.
So we've got it right there as, once again, the Hornets become state champions, national champions, and thank you very much for always making us feel welcomed out here.
I love you guys, man. Go Hornets. Once a Hornet, always a Hornet.
And that's it, as your Hornets win the state championship and the national championship here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Here with DeAndre McNeil, wide receiver for Fullerton College. DeAndre, you guys battled all season and got the championship.
Yes, we did. I mean, it was a long, long journey. I mean, but to be honest, I mean that with us losing that first time, we all as a group decided that next day that we never wanted to have that feeling, have that taste in our mouth. So after we lost the Saddleback, so after that, we just told each other like we have to be accountable for each other. Offense takes care of defense, defense takes care of offense, and then both sides of the ball take care of special teams. So we all came together as one, and we made it happen. And now we're here with a victory as national champions. I'm sorry.
National champions.
Yes, sir.
You talk about that loss to Saddleback. What did change in the team after the loss?
Definitely our whole aspect of things. We realized that we could be beat, and we didn't want no one else in the world to know that. So the next week, we practiced even harder, stayed after practice even more, caught more balls, did exactly what we needed to do as a unit to grow. So I can honestly say that it paid off, and like I said, we're national champions.
Well, there you go. I'm here with national champion, wide receiver DeAndre McNeil.
We're here with Coach John Osterhout, the coach of American River. And first of all, Coach, I got to say to you, I know most losing coaches don't like to hear this, but your team played a great football game. You did a wonderful job coaching this team, and nobody could have asked for a more exciting game that we got today. Came up a little short, but a heck of a beginning for you guys. What a wonderful game.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it was an incredible environment, and I just can't thank our administration enough for really enabling us to come down here on Thursday, and they provided the necessary resources for us to put us in position to be able to win a football game and also have a truly memorable experience. So I'd like to thank the CCAA, for what they did, and again, credit to tremendous state champion in Fullerton College, and we have a ton of grit, and our kids continue to fight, and we're down 16 there, and be able to rally and give us an opportunity to get a stop and have our 2-minute drill, and it's just unfortunate the way it ended, but we're happy about how the season went. Just a little bit disappointed for the group of individuals we have in that locker room, because it's truly a special team.
Well, all I can say, Coach, is you coach a group of young men that have a great deal of character, because when you looked at the way you came back in that second half and were that close, that says a lot about you and that team. Has it been that sort of magical year for you all year long?
It has been, but I think it's certainly a work in progress. It's my third year as a head football coach, and I took over a program that was in pretty good shape. I mean, we had an unbelievable head coach in Jerry Hayflick, who had taken us to the NorCal championship game in 2012, and Don Dillon prior to him. So the program was in pretty good shape. And then, when I took over in 2014, I was able to hire a phenomenal football staff, and we have 5 former head high school coaches on our staff. We have our defensive coordinator, 18 years coaching Division I level. We have 30, 40 years of Division I, Division II experience on our staff, and it's certainly had a trickle-down effect into our roster, and we do a great job locally recruiting. We hold California Community College in the region of Sacramento to our heart, and that's what we do. We go out and look for the local talent, and then we'll sprinkle it in with a couple guys outside the area. But it's been in the making, but we truly recruit guys that are smart, tough, dependable, competitive guys that want to be in an incredible environment in that locker room, and coached by guys that are going to help them, prepare them for the next place. And that's what we truly believe, that we have a platform for success within our program to help young men as they continue to the next level, prepare them for 4-year level football.
And can you tell me about the young man that is standing next to my left? Because you talked about the type of young people that you recruit at your program. Said a lot of wonderful words about it. But this young man next to you has been the leader of this team this year for you, and got you to where you're at, and almost got you to where everybody wants to be. So tell me a little about this young man that you went out and recruited that's led your team this year.
Yeah, Griffin Don, out of Ohio, he just got the it factor. I mean, he's the total package. And we feel very good with both of our quarterbacks. And Don got pushed into action in week 1 when we missed on a blitz pickup against our initial starter. And he took the keys to the car and really did an amazing job throughout the course of the year. He's got everything you look for in a Division I football quarterback. He's got all the intangibles, the redeeming qualities that you look for. And He's got a ton of grit and a ton of belief and incredible teammate. And, we're just very fortunate to have him. We got in contact with him. He contacted us. There's a mutual friend that was recruiting him at Bowling Green who's now at Syracuse, actually my former high school teammate. And Griff contacted us, and he took the leap of faith to come out to Sacramento and play for a premier program here in the state of California. And he told me last year when the season ended that he was going to get us to the state title game, and he did that. And it's just unfortunate that we weren't able to get it done here at the end. Because I feel for him, I feel for the guys in the locker room, but it was truly a magical season. A lot of it had to do with number 8.
I looked at you out there today. I've watched a lot of guys throw sidearm passes in my life. I'm an old guy, as you can tell. You have the sweetest little pass back there, throwing it from the side. You can throw from every position. I mean, a tough little night that went on tonight, but you guys showed a great deal of grit out there when you came back within seconds of maybe pulling off that victory that you were seeking. Heck of a game. Of course, you end up going home just a little short, but what was the experience like for you?
It was everything we wanted except for a win, because we were able to come back because we're a team, we're a family, and we truly believe that we're a team and a family. We believe in what we do at ARC, and we just came up short, but I wouldn't have wanted to do it with any of the group of guys. If I was going to lose, I'd lose with these guys. I wouldn't win with anybody else. So, it was cool being out there. I wish we won, but we didn't, but we did give it our all, so.
Midwestern boy that's away from the snow. It's probably minus 15 at home right now. Nice and white on the ground. Here you are out where the grass is green. It's not too cold out here. What drug you out to California?
Well, like you said, I had a mutual friend. I had a broken ankle, so I didn't have anywhere else to go. And when I reached out to him, he's the only junior college that reached out to me back. I contacted Butte. I contacted Southern California Winds, and nobody even got back to me. So, I went out to ARC and I visited, and like I said, it's a family, and there's no junior college that gets out guys better or coaches guys up better than ARC, so that's why I came here.
Well, gentlemen, all I can say is thank you very much. To watch your team play today was just a joy for all of us as fans. Thank you for the way you played. Thank you for being the type of young man you are. And Coach, you know what? Nothing but success. After talking to you for 15 minutes, you are one heck of a head coach, and nothing but state championships and a possible national championship is waiting for you and your team here at American River.
We sincerely appreciate that, and I just think it was a tremendous game for California Community College football. The crowd was phenomenal. We traveled very well. Fullerton had great support, and it was just a great game for the entire state of California.
Well, this tells you what community college football is all about, because I've got the American River team and coaches here with me. They show you how classy community college football is. Great student athlete, great coach of young men from American River, as they came up just a little short tonight against the Hornets for the state championship here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, gentlemen, we're back here at Fullerton College because the Hornets won the state and national championship for community college football. And, of course, we were there for the entire ride. Corey and I have been here forever. Ryan, you've been around for the last couple of years. And so let's take a hard look at the season from day one. And I'm going to start it over to my right because he usually goes out there. I'm just going to say it flat out. I didn't expect this. When we started the season, I got to ask you, you talked to coaches, did you think we were going to be here with this outcome now?
No, I don't think anybody really expected that they would be here in the state championship game. I think there was an inkling that this team has a chance to be really, really good, but I don't know if anyone really expected, okay, we're going to be national champions. We just got a chance to be really good and do some things.
Ryan, you were out here for all the coaches show, and you talked to Trevor Waters, you talked to Brian Crooks, Timmy Burns, Phil Austin, Coach Griff. Except for Coach Griff, who thinks everything is good. The other coaches sort of said, we don't know. You were out there. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Corey. What did you think when the season started?
Well, it was interesting because you talked to Brian Crooks before the season, and he said he had a very intelligent group of linebackers, but he didn't know what style they were going to play at. And also on the offensive side for Fullerton College, brand new offensive coordinator in Garrett Campbell. They didn't know how this team was going to look coming game one. In fact, coming into the preseason, they didn't have a starting quarterback up until Jordan Hoy comes to Fullerton College.
We talked about players of the year, All-Americans and everything else, but let's look back, and I'm going to look at it and say, I look at the group that grew the most out there, probably was the defensive line. I think they grew the most and really stood out at the end of the season. You talked about the defensive backs, maybe the running back, so I'm going to throw it at you. Which group did you think grew through the season?
Well, let's take it back to the beginning of the season, where it was a different atmosphere once you stepped on in preseason. Even the Burger Bowl, you thought the coaches had a different attitude. The players had a different swagger to themselves. They're a lot more confident, a lot more sure, a lot more positive. There was no friction between the coaches and the team, and that really portrayed. And the thing that you came into as smart linebackers, defensive backs were going to be the key point to carry the defense early on. That defensive line outshined almost everybody in the state because they came from so far. The defensive ends, we always compare to the 2013 team and the teams in the past. Defensive ends might be the best that we've seen. Defensive tackles, they grew game by game and really portrayed what Fullerton College is about. But I think, again, the secondary was a key point. From beginning to end, 22 interceptions in the season. I didn't see that in the record book, so I'm going to say it now. 22 seasons is a Fullerton College record for interceptions in the season, and 5 interceptions in the state championship game, another record. Since I didn't see it in the record book, I'm going to put it there.
Well, you know, he gave a lot of love to the defense. You and Trevor Waters had a nice little relationship going on there. He brought up the 2013 team, which we think might be one of the best offensive lines we've seen in the 15 years we were here.
No, they were the best offensive line.
Okay, best offensive line, but I'm going to throw it over at you. I'm going to make you take care of the offense. He took care of the defense. Offense, we didn't know anything. We didn't even know about the quarterbacks when you look at it.
Yeah, you have to start with that offensive line. Marshall Levins, Nathan Trent, Delton Crandall, Emil Graves, and Muhammad Jefferson. All of those guys stepped up. Trevor Waters said that this was going to be a group that can run almost 10 to 12 deep. That's what they did during the entire season, and it ends up with Emil Graves also getting an All-America selection.
Well, we looked at the game.
Well, what did you think?
Well, I really did. Like I said, I go to the defensive line. The defensive line, the last 3 games, I thought won the last 3 games. Yeah, I know the defensive backs made the picks, but let's put it this way. When you can say to Parcell, an All-American, you don't have to blitz. I got 4 down linemen that can go get a quarterback. That said a lot for the team. I go with the defensive line when I look at them. I think they won the Riverside game. I definitely think they won the state championship game out there. And I probably, again, you and I talked about most valuable player awards. So, guys, let's sort of, as we come towards the end of this, as we sort of round at the end of the season, I'm going to ask you, you pick your best player on defense, your best player on offense, and maybe if you've got a third player, best player on the team. I'm going to start over here on the left to let you think, Mr. Neyland. You're a little older, so we're going to let him sort of stew on that thought.
Well, best player on offense, I'll go with the obvious pick in Jordan Hoy. 37 touchdowns, the school record, threw for over 3,500 yards. On the defense, I'll take Tyler Stepney, because if you look at Stepney overall on the season, that hit against Cagle in the Grossmont game changed the way that the defensive line was going throughout the entire season. It gave them a lot more aggression going into the final 6 weeks of the season, and it turned the tides for them.
Okay, we'll come back here. He's still going to think. Because
it's hard to say who the best is. So since you say Jordan Hoy on offense, you know, I'm going to have to go with one of the offensive linemen. I'll go with Emil Graves as the best, because that offensive line, and when I say the Emil Graves, I'm talking about the whole front, offensive front, is they set really the tone. They set up Jordan Hoy for those scrambles that we thought in the beginning of the season were design runs. They protected the quarterback. They protected the offensive player of the year in California, and should be the nation as well. They protected the player of the year in the nation. Well, he should be as well. So that offensive line led by Emil Graves, the best this season on offense, because when Jordan stepped back a little bit and not really struggled, but didn't put up the air proficiency that he did in the beginning of the season, well, those 4 running backs that we thought were going to carry the load came up, stepped forward, and made it a well-rounded team.
And I'm going to go with what I've loved my 15 years I've been here. It started with Sammy Pelescu, the special teams. I don't think you win any games if you have inconsistency on special teams, and we're going to go to point after, where you set school records, 3 people out there that you have to do.
79 for 79.
79 for 79. I mean, that's outrageous when you think about it, especially at any level, but here at the community college level. So that's my group that I'm going to end up taking when you look at most valuable player. I'm taking a 3-headed monster. I'm taking point after.
Let me get the defense. Now, defense, we know Justin Parcells, All-American, who should be in the top 3 in National Player of the Year for defense. But for me, it was beginning with D'Angelo Ross. It ends with D'Angelo Ross. 6 interceptions to lead the team. He and Tim Gordon set the tone for that defense. Those cornerbacks and the safeties allowed that defensive front, the front 7, to establish themselves, to take chances. So D'Angelo Ross, my player of the year on defense.
I'm going to give it, you already said Jordan Hoy, so pick somebody different that maybe added to that offense. We know the obvious, but the obvious always has to have somebody supporting him. So who else are you going to throw out there for us offensively?
I'll go with the slot receiver and say Marcus Grossman. Grossman had a couple of catches in the beginning 2 games of the season and then really came on after the Cerritos game, became one of the top targets for Jordan Hoy. When Hoy was scrambling and was in duress, he was able to find Marcus Grossman, who would always find the sticks and find some open field.
And of course, one of the people we've got to talk about, because he is always the architect of the team, that's Tim Burns. You look at him, guys, in 9 seasons, 6 times Coach of the Year. Finally this year, because he wins the national championship.
Well, that's a given. I mean, no matter what sport you go into, it's always whoever wins the championship, they're always the Coach of the Year.
But really, when you think about it, Corey, we've been around. You brought it up to start this final little bit on the Hornets. And we've talked about usually when we went out to practice, the offense was down to our right, the defense was down on our left, and there was really no love in between. We went to the final party with the coaches, and it was a love fest when they won the state championship, and we all knew they were national champions.
It was just a different atmosphere, and that's what you loved about this season.
And Ryan, you were out there for every coach's show. Like I said, Coach Griff will tell us, yeah, that's right, Coach. You changed the attitude. That's why they won the national championship. We already know that. You did hear that, didn't you, Corey? A couple times. But Ryan, I mean, you've been out there. You took over the coach's show. You knew the feeling every once in a while was, I'm not quite sure. Corey says it was a love fest. You get that too after doing the coach's show this year?
Absolutely. And when you watch these guys after the game against Saddleback, heartbreaking loss, only lost by 3 points, 30-27. What happens the following week? They had their eyes set on what they were going to do against Palomar. They got that Saddleback game out of their heads. There's no one that you came up to and they said, oh, it was this guy who lost the game, this guy who did this. No, everybody said, this is what our guys need to do. And if we can shore this up, everybody else will do their job.
When you speak of that Palomar game, that's where they broke a record for most yards in a single game. Jordan Hoy with the most individual total offense in a single game. So, yeah, they were focused.
And when you think about it, as this season comes to an end with a state and national championship, a lot of the players that we appreciate, that we care about, that are fine young men are going to move on and leave this Hornet team. It's going to make it a little tough for Tim Burns and the entire staff to necessarily repeat as we head into next year. But when you look at it, Corey, I mean, what they accomplished, is it a possibility?
Yeah, it's a possibility, because when you win a championship, recruits start to come talking to you instead of you have to go out recruiting all the time. You go 12-1, you know you're going to lose some key players, and those recruits start, hey, Coach, what you got for me? Hey, Coach, I'm here if you need me. So it makes recruiting a little bit easier, and, yeah, they got a possibility.
And, of course, Ryan, you were associated with 2 championships, state championships, L.A. River head coach, not L.A. River, but L.A. Valley head coach moving on this season. And you look at it, young guy compared to 2 old guys standing next to you. I mean, if you were still playing the game of football and you looked at the Hornets, even though they may lose 60, 70% of the players, do you buy into what the man to my right just said? Hey, championships, I go play there?
Absolutely, and always championships are always going to bring a lot more attention. If you're a prospect coming out of high school and is looking for a place to play, you're going to start with the top and then work your way down. And right now at the top, it's the Fullerton College Hornets.
So we want to thank everybody this season watching the Coaches Show with Ryan Osborn, hanging out with Corey Neyland and I on sportsnetusa.net. To the entire coaching staff, thank you, gentlemen. There's nothing like hanging out with friends on a weekend and watching football. That's got to be the best. Well, no, there's one added thing. We got the beautiful Gabby Neyland to my right. She hung out with us too. Ryan Osborn's going to get a shot of her. So at least we had that. At least we had a little attractiveness between you and I.
It's been ugly for about 15 years, so yeah, we got to get something pretty in there occasionally. So, yeah, you know.
Something a little sweet that goes on the game, sort of sandwiched in between Ryan Osborn and myself. So, coaches, we want to thank you. To the administration, we want to thank Scott Giles. Scott, always, it's been a ball. Thank you for always including us as part of the Hornet family. And for everybody that we had the pleasure to meet, tweet, text, talk to. We did the games for you, and you make our game so much fun when we bring it to you and you say, hey, thanks a lot. That's all we need to say.
Actually, we did the games for us, but you guys just happened to be there.
Sort of like...
And we also want to thank Tom Duff.
Always. And it's sort of like this interview. You notice how we're just doing it for us. And Tom, yeah, Corey's absolutely right. Tom, we wish you'd have been out there for every game with us because we love having you out there. Thank you for everything you've done for Mr. Neyland and myself, to Ed Ford, to the entire TV department at Fullerton College. We had a ball. To LA Valley, who opened up their arms to Ron Osborn. Guys, it was a pretty outrageous season. I never saw it coming.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
See, we're being polite on the air.
Yes, we are.
Beginning of the practice, beginning of the season, we go to practice and Fullerton has a different feel. It's got some talent. It's got some ballers out there. And we say, this could be something special, but let's hold off because we've seen it before. After Santa Ana, they blow them out in the key to the county. Let's hold off. We've seen this before, but that quarterback looks pretty good. The defense is all right. They beat Cerritos in College of the Canyons. Let's hold off and wait. Just one more game, this team looks pretty good. We're not going to get happy. After the 5th game, we can get happy. I think this team is going to do it.
And we did get happy, and when we looked at it, I mean, Ryan, we were on a streak, you were on a streak, but it really has been fun. Make sure you can check out all the past Coaches Show with the gentleman to my left, Ryan Osborn. Yeah, he's moving on. He's going to Cal State University Fullerton. I got an alumnus to my right, but he's coming back next year. He's going to be on the Coaches Show, and hopefully we'll have somebody that knows what they're doing to help you besides just me next year. We got basketball around the corner. We got baseball around the corner. We got softball around the corner, so make sure you check out and hang out with Corey, Ryan, myself, and Gabby Neyland because we got more sports for you here on sportsnetusa.net. Fullerton College Hornets, state champions, national champions, and have a slew of All-Americans. Guys, it's been fun.
Yep.
For myself, I'm Mark Pavlovich, the host, Ryan Osborn, Title IX, Corey Neyland, and of course, you got to put the sweetness on top of the cake, Gabby Neyland in the background. All here on sportsnetusa.net. I like that. Awesome.